NRG's performance at last week's LAN was nothing short of amazing. They were the first team to match point and made the lobby look like a regular pub match in Game 4. Even though they were some people's favorite to win LAN, they had a lot of doubters who said they wouldn't go far because they didn't scrim, and the main form of practice the boys over at NRG had was Pro League and Oversight, which NRG won, by the way. Sweet and Nathan have literally been streaming, please don't fact check me on this, Tarkov, and Sweet has said jokingly he's a part-time pro player and a full-time Tarkov streamer. NRG proved a lot of doubters that they are still one of the top teams in NA regardless of not scrimming or getting any practice in. But how did they manage to run over so many teams and get to match point in the end, securing second place? That's what I'm here to try and explain to you today, and we'll start this video off with these topics. Snowballing is a term that is used to say once you get momentum, you continue with that momentum until you just either reduce back to a single speck of snow, or you snowball enough to become a giant boulder, knocking over everything in your path and bringing everyone else into this path. NRG is an exceptional team when it comes on to team fights, which carries them through most of their games. But I'd like to highlight Game 4 of Finals Lobby. This is what led NRG to become the first team on match point. NRG decides to drop a 20+ kill game, and this all started from when they got to Barometer and decided to third party a fight between Dreamfire and Fnatic. They became the outside influence in the fights and essentially third party the fight perfectly. They snowballed the fight to let Fnatic and Dreamfire stall their 3v3. Both teams now know that there is a team within this to quickly third party, so they have to stall the fight, but due to Sweet getting cracked by a charge rifle from Barometer, now NRG has time due to that outside influence to properly gather the information on the situation in front of them and just straight up shoot Dreamfire in their back, and could wipe Fnatic also due to outside influence from another team in Barometer. In high level lobbies, taking 3v3s with other teams can be extremely difficult because you can tell your team to push a fight and you get charge rifle for 98 damage on your flesh and you end up losing that 3v3 you decided to take before you could even cross the distance to get to that team. By becoming the outside influence, you can put teams in very uncomfortable situations and can secure up to 3 to 6 KP just by cracking or downing one player in this game. NRG forces a lot of teams into uncomfortable positions just by becoming the outside influence. The only straight up 3v3 they took in this game was the fight in the vents on their Barometer against Singularity.
Same exact fucking thing! I'm still canceling now, I missed. Thanks, one dead. Nice, I'm here with you, Sweet. I'm swinging the ball. What's my dead? Far side. On me. Nothing. No DG still. Great.
Another fight they took to solidify their positioning to win the game was the fight against Fun 123. Fun was fighting ASA and was just about to finish fighting that team, trying to heal up and gather resources. NRG pushes them because Nathan comes at their fight. Sweet catches one healing behind the box and just continues the snowball effect. Then they went on and won the game with no one behind them in zone, and they have their entire backside cleared.
We gotta kill this! We gotta start swinging this! We should just swing it! I don't think they're close anymore. I think they're fighting! Yeah, run it out! Run it! Don't even use zero if we don't need it. He's on the box ceiling!
I got them!
Close! Zero now!
I'm seriously above them!
Get above this!
Get above this instantly! I'm pushing the guy up top!
They're fighting another team!
Kill this!
Kill this kid! Getting on them! What
I'm batting!
I'm up top! Back up to me on me now! Let's go inside!
I'm coming.
I'm playing what we've done it, you're fine! I'm good, just run it! We're walking in and playing this lane, we're winning this fucking game!
Okay. You still
Watching
have
our
double
left side
double.
round. No, none.
Okay.
We gotta
On my
clear
pin,
our
on my
Yeah.
I'm canceling this. We can maybe kill this. I got his heal.
Okay, we're taking space left. The bridge team might take counter space. We don't want to get back.
There's a guy up here too.
Back up. Our biggest bet's the top behind us.
I'm backing up.
I only have 60 ammo for my fallout. Yeah,
I'm no heavy.
Nate, stay here. Everyone grouped up. Stay there, Stay there.
All right.
Walk in with gas. Show presence here. Anyone lands theirs, we're fucking running them over. Big fight on my red. If these guys land on the bridge, we're thirding. If these guys land on the bridge, we're thirding.
On our left, in the field, on our left.
They're not close. I'm gonna loot ammo real quick. I need ammo.
Yeah, I need heavy too.
One's cracked. I cancel this heal.
I have ammo. Coming back up.
Wait.
Yep.
I have
They're
ammo.
swinging left. Look, they're not. Come to me. They're not in zone. Look right here.
I'm coming.
Look right here. They're about to be fighting over here. We should play close on this and hold the zone
We're already at the hill.
Touch one. Kill them.
Sweat this. Just swing on me now. And an knock on me, 15. No ult. Take the top of the horse on me, Nate. Show me. On me, oh my god, he's coming. Let's fucking get down. Something. Playing wide.
I'm getting an angle.
I got forward.
You guys look right.
I almost won. Swing left.
Curtis, get on me.
I'll leave out.
I'm gonna help me. He's low. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
We have our Apex champions.
Holy.
One thing NRG does well, that I see other teams do as well, is change their comps for respective maps that they are going to play. For competitive Apex, there's only 2 maps currently in rotation, World's Edge and Storm Point. NRG's World's Edge comps consist of Loba and Watson, which is a zone comp, which allows them to bunker down in the zone and excels at holding buildings. We all know what Valk's role in this squad is for. Loba is for getting loot while holding down a spot in zone, because they land at staging, which doesn't really have that much loot for their team to begin with, but do allow for decent rotations to different points on the map. Watson is really good for this comp too, because it's Watson who is, in my opinion, the best defense / controller legend in the game. Gives you the ability to play outside of houses or in an area where you might not feel the most comfortable. References are great for zoning and showing presence for your team. Yes, we can just straight up shoot defenses, but you'll be wasting ammo and alerting NRG that you are trying to push them. Her pylon is extremely good for their zone playing on World's Edge, because teams tend to want to nade them out of the position that they want, or use util to get that position from NRG, such as Horizon Ults, etc. So by using your Watson pylon, it provides great counter-offensive capabilities for NRG. Also, the decision to play zone on World's Edge was the right decision on IMO, because teams have been playing World's Edge since the dawn of time and are aware of every little crevice you can play on this map. And playing Edge on World's Edge is a bit more difficult, because most if not all teams have players who have been playing since the launch of Apex Legends, so they know which spot to hold in zone on World's Edge and who can land where. So by the time a team decides to walk into zone or Valk ult, you already have a team waiting in your spot that you want to play, and you'll be forced to fight straight off landing. For Storm Point, let's switch to an edge comp consisting of Bangalore, Seer, Valk, since that the size of the map is a lot larger than World's Edge, and players aren't fully familiar with the map that they do with World's Edge. Playing Edge on any map is hard, but on Storm Point it is a lot easier to take care of fights on Edge due to the distance between multiple POIs. If a team is fighting in one POI, you have to cross a lengthy path just to third party that fight, which will lead to more snowballing and a full-on infest. This comp allows them to take fights on Edge and also provides them with a small micro rotation due to Bangalore smoke, which can block LOS on their team and allow them to micro rotate or take a 3v3. Seer and Valk is self-explanatory, because their roles in a team composition will never change unless Respawn decides to take Seer's chems away and rip Valk's jetpack off her back. Playing Edge on Storm Point is worth it simply due to the size of the map and the amount of playable areas you have on the map, and there's a lot more space, well isolated space, for NRG to take fights and rack up points as we saw in Game 4. importance of securing points is important to every single team in the game, but I just wanted to highlight it with NRG's case just because, regardless of how much kills you get, if you go out in the bottom 10, a team in top 5 can easily pass you due to placement points, and their kills as well. Because of this, teams place a lot of emphasis on just playing for points if needed. We see in one game where NRG fails to siege TSM's building and Guild is forced to play as a solo. NRG picks up a lot of points this game simply because Guild ratted to top 3 and secured second place. Most times teams are too busy fighting and trying to assess the overall situation to focus on a rat, because we even see a Valk run past Guild when he was under the stairs, simply because that Valk's team was more focused on evaluating the situation at hand. Also, they could just not have had Seer. Each point they secure inch them closer and closer to match point and top 5 in overall leaderboards. Please, I will say this in every video. If you are a professional Apex Legends team and it's in your budget to get a coach or analyst for your Apex team, please get one, especially before this new season with the change in classes. It isn't just defense, offense, support, and recon anymore. A coach or analyst will ease your headaches as an IGL by taking most of the burden off you, and you can just focus on strats and in-game performance. Overall, this past LAN has been a dominant performance from NRG, because remember, this team is fairly new. Guild was picked up a couple months ago by NRG when they dropped Rocker. So keep in mind, this top 2 performance from NRG is basically formed with a new team, and is very impressive as well since that they got no practicing. And I'm excited to see what more will come from the boys over at NRG, even though I'm a TSM fan.